So I play bagpipes, primarily Highland bagpipes, and I love playing with my pipe band and playing by myself. And it's a really great instrument. But sometimes I do want to, like, it'd be cool to jump into like a trad music session or be able to play with other instruments and stuff like that. So there's small pipes and stuff like that, and those are really great. I love playing my small pipes. And it's just like I think that I'm not the only Highland piper who feels like, well, what I got is cool, but like I want to join in sometimes, and try some of these other kind of cool things. So I think it's not uncommon for pipers to pick up the low D whistle, which works great. It's a lot of fun, right? Like the one thing that feels kind of like a superpower is that whistle players have this thing they call the piper's grip. That like a lot of whistle players learn to play with the tips of their fingers, and so then to transition to a big whistle, like a low D whistle, it's hard for them to, at least initially, to get the piper's grip down. And it's like, well, for a Highland piper, it's like like you come in ready for that, because you already used the fat part of your fingers to play on your Highland chanter. But what can get confusing is like if you go to a session, if you get a session tune book or something, and if you're like me at least, maybe this is only me, but I suspect there are probably other people in this boat as well. Like usually it's expected to be playing a D whistle, whether it's a high D whistle or a low D whistle, and that's fine. But like when I'm playing tunes on my whistle, usually in my brain it's still going in the key of A, right? Because I'm used to reading music in A, and so like these fingers down is A in my brain because of Highland bagpiping, right? But on a D whistle, those fingers down is D. This is A, which is in my brain more like E. Probably the best thing would be to break that in my brain and get to where I can like just play the music that's like play the note that's on the sheet music, But it's hard. So like here's something that I feel excited about. This is a key of A whistle, right? And like we play in the key of D on the Highland bagpipes a lot. Like so here's my practice chanter. So like a lot of songs like Scotland the Brave is going to be down in the key of A, of course, right? But a lot of songs we play are in the key of D, like Amazing Grace is an easy example. So that's our D right there, right? So like a penny whistle, a tin whistle, right? The standard A, or excuse me, standard D, it's kind of like if those holes lined up right there, right? So like that's your D. So like you could do like, that's F, E, D, F, D, E, 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 D. I mean, it's F sharp, of course. All right. I suspect that if you've stuck with it so far, you know exactly what I'm talking about, and this can be a frustrating thing. So that's why I'm excited about a key of A whistle, because the thing is, a lot of those Irish tunes that you sit down for in a session, or a lot of the Irish trad tunes that you might have like a guitar player join you for and stuff like that, a lot of them are going to be in D. And an instrument that plays in A, like the bagpipes, can play in the key of D and often does. And so, like, instead of playing a tune like this, like here's D, D, E, F sharp, D, E, D, but that feels like A, B, C, right? You can play like this. See how that sounded the same? That's fun, right? So you go, well, how about if instead I just go like this? I got the same thing there, but when I read the music, it feels right because of my bagpiping fingers feel comfortable with reading the music if I have an A whistle. So this is like, and like even the spacing, check this out, like look at it next to my practice chanter. The whole spacing is really comfortable too, It's identical. Like it's just a really, really comfy way for a Highland piper to be able to join in on a session. So I've been kind of experimenting with this a little bit, and maybe what I really should be doing is putting time into learning how to read music and play it accurately on a D whistle, on a whistle in any key. But instead, I'm taking this convenient shortcut. So this is a Lear A whistle. I like it a lot, and at least for now, they might deactivate it later, who knows, right? But at least for now, they've got a discount code. If you put in HeritageBagpipes, you'll get 10% off if you buy one. To any bagpiping friend who first of all, I would recommend definitely you should start playing whistle. And starting with a D whistle is perfectly fine. If you're going to learn how to play it the way it reads on music, that's great. But even if you don't, you can just close your eyes and imagine you're playing bagpipe music. It's going to come out sounding pretty. It's just in a different key is all. But if you want to get an A whistle, like, I think it's awesome. So I've started playing through this King Street session book because there's a local session group, and I don't want to be a social pariah when I show up. So I wasn't going to show up like with my Highland pipes and expect them to let me join in, you know. So I'm kind of playing through their tunes a little bit, and what I'm doing is seeing, can I get those tunes in general to fit onto an A whistle? And so far, I'm pleased to say that the answer is yes. There's some accidentals you have to play here and there, but at least for me, I'm finding that like way easier to deal with than having to break my brain and think in D when it feels like A, you know? So if you're like me, then maybe this is a useful way to expand your musical horizons a bit from Highland piping into other trad music, an A whistle. I did try for a little while, I had one of those whistles that's got the extra leading note down at the bottom that feels like a low G and a thumb note on the back. So it feels like a bagpipe chanter. And like, I don't know, I think for some people that probably works really great. For me personally, like the whistle itself didn't have super great sound, and I found that like playing that low G and the high A with the thumb hole, like there was a lot more like breath adjustment that needed to happen. It made it really complicated. This whistle I've been really, really happy with, where like pretty steady, like of course there's some breath adjustment as you go up the scale, but pretty steady. It's a pretty gradual adjustment. You can get 3 octaves. Two and a half for a mediocre player like me. I think probably a good whistler could get 3. Anyway, here's an example. This is a reel called the Bear Island reel, where not only can you get it to work on an A whistle, the A whistle actually can play it more accurate to how it's written than a D whistle could. Now, I mean, a D whistle could play it as it's written if it starts in the 2nd octave. You'll see with the sheet music what I mean, because if you line up these holes here, you know, this is your D whistle and your A whistle. It's kind of like, what is it like? It's like that, right? So like on the D whistle, that's a D, right? It's a D on both of these whistles, but you can see that the A whistle has more notes down below, right? So check it out. Here's an example. And if you think that sounds like it's applicable to you, well, welcome to probably a very small club, friend. It's at least you and I, for whom bagpipe to whistle transition is made easier by using a key of A whistle. That's it for the video. Enjoy this example. Bye!